Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and this new tutorial on advanced Python. So in previous video we learned about multi-threading and have seen where we should use. So in general it is preferred to use multi-threading where the process is IO bound, like we are doing we are kind of scraping data from the internet, or we are writing file and so on. In this video we will discuss a bit a specific case where we need synchronization. So in multi-threading, there are some variables are the code which is specific to the thread, and there is another part of the code are variables which are shared. So in cases where we try to update the global variables or the shared variables, and if all the threads simultaneously try to update the global variable, that's when the race condition happens. So in short, we should avoid to have a race condition. Okay. So to avoid race condition, there are multiple approaches, but in this video we will learn about one very simple and effective approach, which is called locking mechanism. So we could use metaphor and other things, but in this video we will simply use a lock. So each thread will acquire lock when it is trying to run the critical section and release after doing that, and that way the race condition won't happen. Okay. So for simplest example, let us try to see it this way. You're trying to download a lot of HTML files from internet, and then you just want to have a global count, like how many files you have downloaded. So you will declare a global variable and simply keep, so each thread will have access to it, and then it will keep updating it every time it downloads a file. If we don't do the synchronization in that sense, the actual count won't be correct. So we'll see with example. So let us try to implement and understand where it is needed, and where do we need to use a locking mechanism. Okay. So let us define a variable. Let us say num is equal to 0, and let us define a simple function increment. Okay. What it does is simply, let us say global num, and let us simply say num plus equal to 1. Okay, this will simply increment num by 1. And let us say another function we have, thread task. Okay, what this does is it simply run, like let us say 1,000 times the same number, increments it plus 1. Okay, so let us simply write a loop. So far in range, so let us say it's 1 million, something like that. So enter a big number in that sense, and we simply call increment. Okay, this is our get task, and let us define another function which is our main task. Okay, this is where we will do the actual download. So let us say we have t1 is equal to thread. So let us import it, and let us say we have target is equal to thread task, and let us name it t1, and let us create another one which is, let us call t2, and let us start both of them. t1 dot start, t2 dot start, and let us wait to complete them, and let us t2 dot join. Okay, now let us create our main body of the code. So we can simply say main, and let us simply run it, say for I in range 10 times. Okay, and let us print x. So we will call main task, and we will simply print. So let us say f iteration I and num is equal to num. Okay. So as we are calling two times, it should be 2 million. Okay. For each and every call. Okay. So let us run and see if we get 2 million in that sense. So let us run and see it. Okay. So here we need to change it to uh, 0 every time we call it. That's why it is just keep incrementing it. And we simply need to say 0. And that's it. Let us rerun and see. It should be inconsistent in that sense. So you see we don't get like uh, 2 million for each and every update, because it is happening like when one is reading, before writing another one is also trying to update it. That's why it is not consistent. So to avoid race condition, what is generally recommended is simply use lock. So what we will do is simply we will pass a lock to the thread task, and in this before incrementing, it will acquire the lock, and then after that it will simply release it. Okay. So what we will do is we will simply use lock, and we will simply import lock from threading, and with args we will pass lock here. Okay. And we will do the same thing with the second call as well. Okay. And here we will simply access it, and here we will simply say before executing the critical section we will ask it to acquire, and after executing the critical section we will simply say release it. This way we will avoid the race condition. Now for each iteration this value would be 2 million. Okay. So let us run and see it. So you see now it works as expected. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Like when we are trying to access global variables in multi-threading environment, it's better to use locking mechanism to avoid race condition. Okay, so in this video we will stop here. In the next video we will learn about multiprocessing. And so thanks for watching. Bye for now. Take care. See you in the next.